Congratulations on level 6. You kept her alive this long. That's all that matters. Just need to do it 3 more cycles.
My Veil listing goes active tomorrow, and my listing here in town goes active in like a week and a half.
There you go.
I closed the deal yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Probably one of the most difficult deals I've done.
Why is that?
Whatever could go wrong went wrong. So my buyer, she bought it in June, and then life changes. She had to sell it. So I discounted my commission just because I helped her sell her other house, helped her buy that house, and then she ran into some troubles and had to get rid of it. But needless to say, she was supposed to be coming out of pocket, losing a little bit of money. And she ended up getting about $1,000 net, which is kind of impressive.
That's impressive, going from a loss to a net win. Way to go, James.
Well, it's not very often you get a bunch of buyer concessions. You usually get seller concessions.
This is true.
But because they were so late on their loan docs and all that stuff, I put an addendum in there. They really wanted the property. It was $400 credit to the seller, and then $100 per day diem, and they're about 15 days late closing.
Dang, that's awesome. You can, in fact, F around and find out how much this is going to cost you.
That is exactly what happened.
That's awesome. I love that. Other wins, celebrations, something you're just dang proud of. Come on now. No, nothing. Okay, cool. Okay, that's it. That's it.
I got a new coffee frother.
I don't know what that is. Okay. My wife has one of those. An aerator. There you go. This is what it does. This is what happens in California, guys. You get so rich you can't afford spoons anymore. You have to have automated spoons to stir things.
No, you were talking about boring, dude. That's mushroom coffee mixed with Benefiber.
Ooh, Benefiber. Keep you regular. All right. It is Thursday. Situations. What do you guys want to talk about?
I was going to say, welcome to 40.
I wish Christina was on. She has a really great situation we're working through.
I wish Christina was on too, but at least that means we can make fun of her since she's not here.
James can tell her we made fun of her because he's on, which is fantastic. He just has to yell across the house to get on the call.
She apparently can't get in. She texted in the WhatsApp that she's having a hard time.
User error. The link hasn't changed in like 7 years. If only she knew a good IT guy that could help her. If only. He's not paying attention. Let's try it. I sent her the link. See, Hummus. Tell her this is ridiculous. Okay. What other situation you guys working on out there? Let's hear from them. This is how we get to talk about things and work them out in public so that it's kind of over with, handled. Great talk. You guys want to hear about weird situations we're dealing with?
Yes, I'm trying to think of something that'll be interesting. I promise.
Right. If Christina gets on, she can talk about the end of it. So, okay, you're under contract. You know the seller is going to be upside down on a house.
Oops.
Right? Situation upside down. You're the buyer's agent. You put an offer in. You say, hey, we want to make sure that our seller has enough money to cover this deal if we close, right? Is that too much information for the buyer's agent to ask if the seller has the funds needed to close escrow? Usually we want the buyer to have enough funds to close escrow, but are we not seeing more short sales or more situations where sellers are a little upside down? Yeah, we are.
Yeah, for sure.
So we can definitely ask. We can ask as a buyer side, hey, I want proof of funds that that your seller has the ability to satisfy the note, and we can close this deal. Like Jimmy talked about, his client knew she was going to come in with some cash out of pocket and it actually wound up in her favor to leave with $1,000 in hand. Well, let's say we're in this transaction. Your buyer does everything possible. They get bounced from a down payment assistance program and wind up in a, I need to come up with $13,000. They work overtime. They bust their butt. They sell their kidney. They come up with a 13 grand. They've done everything that they needed to close this deal. Appraisal comes in $15,000 short. $15,000 swing. You think the seller's got that money? No. No. So what do? You're the buyer side. What do you do?
Give them options.
Okay. Tell me more. What are my options?
Your options are bring cash, negotiate a price reduction, or cancel.
Okay. Same three options we have in Arizona, right? Cash the difference, finance the difference, or walk away. The biggest thing that I said, the two big things that I can look at here are, we know the seller doesn't have much money, and now we just asked $15,000 less than sales price. Who's at risk here?
Well, the buyer's just paid for an appraisal
And
probably inspections.
okay, so we're $1,000 into this, if not more.
Some states do appraisals first, so I don't know. I don't know what
Some states are appraisal. Arizona's inspection and appraisal. You guys agree?
Yeah,
The
same.
three of you that are on the call. So when we look at these things, we go, hey, okay, now we have a seller that we knew was tight at the get. We didn't really get proof of funds that said the seller had much money to close. We know the seller was anticipating about $2,500 in out of pocket to get this deal done. We have a $15,000 short appraisal. The seller was going to give us $12,000 in concessions, but they said, you know what? If we reduce the price, we can't give concessions. We have this $12,000 delta we need to deal with now. It's actually a $15,000 delta. Where can that come from?
Agent.
Okay. I love how Mara is the first one to say give away your commission. Don't like that.
I didn't say it was great. You asked where money could come from.
She's right.
I know, but that's the thing is where else?
I've often asked title for discounts. I've asked lenders
Okay.
for discounts.
Write this down, guys. If these are not top of mind, you need to make them top of mind. What was the first one, Jim?
Title.
Title discount, right? Okay, everyone
They
but
don't make
Jim.
any money if it doesn't close. If it can't close, they don't make anything either.
Everyone but Jim. Did you guys know you could get a discount from title by asking? You're maybe $500, but $500 is $500.
Now you're 14.5.
Now we're 14.5 away. Okay. Where else?
From the lenders.
Okay, the lenders, right? Can the lender give some?
Yes. I think Eric just had to do this with Chris Leon for one of their clients. He was pretty short.
Yeah. So how can a lender give a discount?
They also have, I'm not going to say commissions, but compensation as well.
Yeah, they have fees that they can discount, I'd imagine.
Yeah, there might be a discount fee in there too. But did you guys know that in some situations you can increase the interest rate
Oh yeah.
and get more credit towards the buyer's closing costs? So earlier when I said you could come up with a cash, you can finance it or you could cancel, no one picked up on that finance part, did you?
No.
Jessica did. Because you thought, oh, it's an appraisal, right? The finance is just going to drop the price. No. You got to look at the whole situation. Seller doesn't have the cash, can't reduce the price. If the seller can't close, you're stuck in the water. Now, I'm not saying every situation will have these opportunities, but I want you to know that they exist. You can go to the lender and say, is it possible for us to increase the interest rate a little bit, help offset the closing costs? Let's say maybe that's 1%. So $4,000 in closing credit by going up 1% in interest rate. Maybe more. I don't know. Let's just call it that. So now we're a delta of $9,500. We got $9,500 in a $400,000 house. Now where can we get more money? We can call Mara and say, hey, Mara, will you give up your commission? We know she doesn't want to, but she will. But that's not the first call I want you to make.
No.
Where is it?
Wait, Dan, can we back up a minute? I need you to talk to me like I'm in kindergarten. I don't,
I already
if you,
I thought-
shut
I
up.
thought we were.
If you increase the interest rate, isn't that then on the buyer, not on the seller?
I said the buyer finances it. That's a choice the buyer gets to make. But
I see what you're saying.
let's look at another option, right? What else can you do? All right, class, work together. Break out in your study groups.
Sell a kidney.
All right. Why has nobody said call a friend? Beg, borrow, and steal?
Right. Can the seller get a gift from someone?
Yeah, the buyers get gifts all the damn time, don't they? Mom and dad throwing down some down payment. Hell, the neighbor next door owes you a favor. Give me $2,000, call it even.
Did you talk about lowering the lowering compensation
Not yet.
for the buyer? Okay.
Not yet. We're gonna get there. I want that to be the last thing you guys go to. Beg, borrow, and steal, right? Beg, borrow, and steal. Beg for a discount, borrow money from someone else, and then steal money out of your own pocket.
And make sure the seller's working as hard as you are, by the way.
Yeah, and here's the big thing. If they're not, you need to have a stern conversation with your buyer and say, listen, I know you come up $15,000. The seller came up $2,200. Is it worth moving forward on this house or not? If you love the house, it's going to cost you more to live there. My job as a real estate professional is to advise you of the situation, not to tell you what to do. If you want the house, great. If you don't want the house, great. Let's go find something else. I want you to know that don't be so sold on we put our money in the inspections, we put our money in the appraisal, we love the house. I already ordered a couch that fits perfectly. No, don't be stuck on stupid and buy something that doesn't make sense because the seller is unwilling, unable.
You
And
know
if
what the
they want to be
appraisals and
stupid,
inspections-
walk away. Go ahead, Jim.
I was gonna say, you know what the appraisals and inspections didn't cost was $15,000.
Yeah. Well, there's the thing. Beg, borrow, and steal. And lastly, we go into compensation. How can we, not Christina, she knows the answer. How can we handle compensation conversations? Bye, Jess. Good inspections. Good luck. Just take a discount, right? Oh, I'll take 2%. I'll take 1.5%. Right? We have $9,000 to move here, people. 9,000. Where are we moving?
And what if the listing agent says, well, I'm doing this for 1%. So if you want to make this deal happen, maybe you could do it for 1%.
I don't know
At least you
if
know what
Christina
yours.
understood the words, not Christina.
I'm just throwing another factor. I'm not giving the answer.
Right? How do we
But
do it?
But I
that
don't
was her
understand.
fault. I say her, the listing agent's fault, right? That they're short.
How'd you know it was a her?
50-50
Just
shot.
assuming. Yeah.
So this is a
They-
late game. I'm just saying.
Jay,
There's only two guys on this call other than me, so James doesn't count. We never see his face.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying the listing agent. Isn't this like a mess up from their side because they didn't know that their seller was short?
Oh, they knew. How long has the house been on the market? Right? 458 days.
Oh my gosh. That's a long time.
Our offer was absolutely a saving grace. It was an olive branch. It was a stick in the mud to help you get out of the quicksand. And if you're not willing to help yourself, I can't help you. But if my buyer says, I love this house, I want this house, I'll do anything for this house, will you help me? And they've begged, borrowed, and steal, and they got their down payment together. They came up $13,000, and now we only have $9,000 in spread. We have 2.5% commission. What are your options? 3, 2, 1. Someone answer. Not Christina. Dang.
Can they get reimbursed for their appraisal by the lender? I don't know.
That's potential. If they cancel, get reimbursed or credited to the next one. That's a good question. That's mitigating some costs in the end game. Not 8:30 yet, Jim.
I know.
Okay. Guys, when you discount your commission, is it gone?
I'm gonna say no because I feel like you have something up your sleeve.
I'm not wearing sleeves, girl. I mean, technically. That's the thing. Like, we give our commission, right? We just take a chop. Chop.
Could it be installments?
All right. All right. Let's go. Let's take Fabi's thought. She said installments. Tell me more.
Venmo me, cash at me. I don't know.
Who?
I don't know.
I mean, you're off the right track or something. You're thinking outside the box other than just chopping our commission, right?
Can you do a IOU
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me more.
where the buyer would pay the agent back over time?
Okay.
Can you do that?
Called a promissory note.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Promissory note. Could you? Class?
That seems risky. What if they don't pay you?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she's worked her
take 'em
ass
to
off to
court.
get the extra $12,000 or whatever
Well,
she
then
needs.
she needs to
So-
keep fucking working her ass off.
Yeah, and you know where they live.
Jessica, pregnancies made you mean.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Wow.
I mean, if she
Jessica,
made
we deserve
She
it.
hasn't chimed in
$12,000,
forever.
hey, if she made $12,000, I mean, come on, can't you fucking
Well, here-
sell some
not
plasma?
wrong.
Are you a listing agent, Jessica?
I know, right?
The hell?
Here's
I thought
my
you were on our
question.
Yeah,
side.
I am, and I'm angry because
Here-
I'm already at 1%.
Here's a question. If who is the buyer broker agreement between?
You and the buyer.
I mean, the buyer.
Right. So who owes that money
The buyer.
originally?
The buyer.
Okay. So when the seller pays for part or all of it, that's them being generous and incentivizing to get their house sold, right? But doesn't eliminate the agreement that you've got between,
The buyer.
right?
The term is that does not absolve the buyer of their contractual right to compensate the broker for services rendered.
Your buyer, though, came up with that extra
Okay.
money.
But you see how it created the conversation?
Yeah.
We had the conversation around it. Now it's not just me giving up my commission. It's not you chopping your competition. That'd be nice. Chop your competition. Chopping your compensation at the knees. It's creating a solution that is a win-win. Did I tell the buyer that it was going to be cheaper for them? No, I said moving forward with this is going to cost you more money. Is it worth it? If the answer is yes, tell them the costs. We can do it this way. I can make this deal work. It would require us having a compensation agreement to be paid over time. 30, 60, 90 days. Promissory note signed by you and the buyer and notarized.
Get it done at title when you're there closing.
Just pull it out there at title and be like, hey, while we're here, could you notarize this for us? It's not part of the transaction. It is agreement that was in place prior to you guys going under contract.
What is the recourse if she doesn't?
You sue her ass.
Okay.
Because now you have a signed, notarized promissory note. And if they don't pay, here's the thing, right? We can't repo the house.
I'm gonna send Jess to break her legs or something,
We're sending
apparently.
Jess Oberg in there, the ball peen hammer, right? She's going to tool up some people. But here's the thing. The court is in your favor. You've done your job. You had a buyer broker agreement for X. You helped them buy a house. Services rendered. Check. Now, compensation was not paid at the close of escrow because you had a subsequent secondary agreement in writing signed by both parties that had that had your leftover amount to be paid at a certain time frame. That's a contract. And it was witnessed by someone that the state identified as trustworthy. So, do you want to go down that path? Yeah. It's risky as all heck. Like Jess said, it's risky. Absolutely. But like Jim said, you don't get paid if it don't what?
Close.
If they don't close. Our jobs here are not to get the person at the house. Our jobs are to get them in the house.
Well, if we had those upfront conversations like we're supposed to about the buyer broker anyway, you know, that's the dialogue is this is the rate that we're establishing for this agreement. And this is a cost to you as the buyer. It's my job to negotiate hard to get most, if not all of this covered by the seller. In the event that they aren't willing to offer this amount, then that would be one of your, you know, closing costs at the time of closing, similar to HOA fees and things like that.
Not only that, Christina, it's like often like I write all my buyer brokers at, you know, this is recorded, at a certain compensation. And what?
At
He
a
said,
dollar.
hold please.
At a certain compensation. And you know, say the, you know, transaction is a 0.5% lower than said compensation, you know, I use that as leverage, right? I'm honestly, people are going to flame me, right? But I'll forgive that extra 0.5%. But what I do is I communicate to them what that 0.5% looks like. Be like, hey, you know, I really care about you guys getting to this home. I think it's gonna be a great fit for you guys. You know, we had the buyer broker at, you know, X%. You know, I'm giving you guys a $2,500 credit to make sure you guys have a happy home buying experience in a home that you're gonna love and whatever. My only ask is, you know, pay it forward. You know, if you happen to bump into anybody you're showing off your new house, send them my direction, etc. Right? A little more tactful than that, not as black and white, but it's one way you can make that.
And I don't mind putting a little bit of skin in the game. Yeah, like a 0.5%. Like if I've got whatever my rate is, right, X%, let's say I'm adding normally a little bit on top of that for a bonus or processing fee or however you refer to it. If I've already waived one and then I'm doing a reduction in the other, and then the ask is, will you shave another 1.5%?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Will I
May not be the best
on this end? If I'm doing it there, then that's an added cost over here.
Yeah.
We can look at shifting it, but we're not, I'm not here for a hobby. No offense. And I'm not the one getting the house at the end of the day, nor am I the one keeping my credit intact because you've sold the house at the end of the day. This is my JOB.
I've got no problem trying to find.
And I've done this a couple times, not on the promissory note side, but you know, Dan knows there's been a couple times where the seller hasn't compensated. They've only offered X amount, and then I've gone back to my buyer and said, "This is the counter." Right? It's just like any other dollar amount. We get so in our heads about like, I don't know, the guilt of it or the salesmanship of it or whatever, that it's like, ooh, it's like this, it's sleazy or whatever. This is what the rate was. This is negotiated. It's all part of the negotiations. It's like, whether it's the other fees, whether it's other closing costs, this is the offer they came back with. This is how much of your fee they're willing to compensate. Here's how that breaks down. That's what this leaves you in closing costs. I'm not having the conversation of, well, I'm gonna do this unless we're in like serious, like massive, massive deficit, like in this particular example. Then I'll put a little skin in the game that I'm willing to not get compensated for, but I'm not putting it all on the table. It's not my house.
And I don't reduce commissions or compensations when asked. I reduce them when I offer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was the big thing is, guys, this is your business. This is your business, not a charity. It is not your job to make the deal work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Now, if there's some things you can do to finagle it and make it work because you really like the client, then do so. But it's not on you. It's not your responsibility to say, well, to heck with my family. Here's all my money. Close this deal. On the other side of that coin, there has to be two sides. There will be transactions in your long real estate careers and life careers, whatever you're doing, where you're going to do pro bono work. You're going to do something that doesn't 100% fill the coffers. Because it's the right thing to do. Because it's the right thing to do.
I shared with Dan at one of our coaching things that I took a listing at 1%. I don't know if I could say that or not, but I did. Whatever.
It's fine. You did it. That's what you did for that transaction.
Yeah, well, yeah. But the general idea of it was this was a for sale by owner. It was a developer selling a house on his own, and he had 3 properties, and he's building a 20-unit development in about 6 months. My goal was, let me do these for you basically for cost. And I'm going to market the snot out of them doing open houses, basically getting paid to do open houses. Get these things sold and improve myself, my marketing, my worth, and then get the deal to do the 20 units.
Yeah. Well, and in this instance, like the sellers and the listing agent, they've worked together before, right? Sorry, some people have poor timing. They've helped them out before. They need to get this is like their last hurrah. And it's like they've already had an established relationship with them. And they're like, let me do this person a solid because I know the situation they're in. I've worked with them before. Like I've already got that relationship. So I'm willing to do this. So I get that. Like I respect that that's something that they want to honor. Totally get it.
And that single numeral of compensation, they didn't ask, I offered.
Yeah. Well, and that's right. It's like, we know that we can keep that up our sleeve, It's like that, but that wasn't even a question for my buyer. It wasn't like when we're looking for solutions, it's not like, well, what can you do? That wasn't even asked.
No.
Because I work my butt off, right? And we've had those conversations and it's like the thing in front of them is like, what levers can we pull with house price, with the, lending fees, with the HOA fees, title stuff, like what are those kinds of things? Because they're assuming that it's a fixed cost on, the other side of it, because we've had that conversation and I've set that expectation. So then when I come in and I'm like, hey, listen, like everybody, if we're going to make this work, let's all get some skin in the game. And I'd be happy to do this. And also I looked into it and I can do, this is still your total cost. And we had that conversation like to the dollar. I'm not going to be embarrassed to have that conversation with them to say my expectation is that you'll pay the remainder of my compensation over this period of time, because we've already talked about it. We've already said, this is your cost. This is what it is. If you want me to help find solutions to make this happen, here's one option we can do. We can't make it go away, but we can spread this one out, have just this portion of it due at closing so that you can get the keys, get in the house, and we finalize the rest of it over the next 60 days. So much silence.
Was this an FHA loan appraisal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we had a similar situation and they were able to go conventional and then the house appraised. I'm just throwing that out there.
Do we have time to talk more about getting money back from raising the interest rate, Dan? I haven't heard of that.
You know what tomorrow is?
Finance Friday.
Finance Friday. It's a really great
What's
question for
Samuel?
Sam. Let's talk about Spammels opportunities there, guys. Do we have time today? No, but we do have time to say, hey, Fabi, did you look at the chat?
I'll concede to Fabi. She was correct. My infographics do not get that much engagement.
But
I
she
liked it.
got more than 5
Oh.
likes.
How many likes did it get? I didn't check the final number.
Got 5. One was my mom. The other was my dad. The other was my stepdad, and then or my father-in-law, stepfather-in-law, and the other 2 were you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And 2 shares though. 2 shares.
There you
That's funny.
go. Shares are good.
So Fabi, we need a masterclass, and Aaron on social media. ASAP.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Again, we go back to why people are on social media, to be entertained, not educated.
Mm-hmm.
My mom thinks it's entertaining.
Your mom's 90.
They want to get to know you.
I'm the #1 realtor, according to my mom.
Yeah, I love it. All right, guys. Great talk today. Was today worth your time?
Yeah.
Did you learn
Absolutely.
something impactful? There
Yes,
was,
sir.
in fact, something up my sleeves. So
Dan, I can't believe you said your mom's 90.
So weird.
Is she?
My
No.
mom
I'm just
said-
here. I'm just here for Jess's commentary. Can we just make a
He
whole
always
like?
calls Jim old.
Jim is old.
Jim is not old. Jim is about the same age as Dan.
Jim is like 7 years older than Dan.
Like, close enough. We're within the same decade range, which makes most of us around the same age, except for Jess. She's 12. So
But that.
Pappy's all I'm still in my youth. We're all in our youth. You guys are
Fabi.
life. I'm immature. I mean young at heart. So these are the opportunities I really want to bring in front of you guys more and more, is to talk about what we're working through, so that when you find yourself in situations similar or not too dissimilar, you have paths to walk down that aren't just, oh, yeah, I'll cut my commission. No, I really do want that to be the last thing on the table, because you did your job. You deserve to get paid to do it. But sometimes, I give you that. Sometimes it happens, but I don't want it to be the first thing you're like, yeah, I'll discount. No. WWDD, what would Dan do? Politely. What WWPDD, what would polite Dan do?
Yeah, I was gonna say that could go any number of ways.
Yeah.
A gummy bag of. Okay, high five.
Christina, the seller's got a loan.
Hell yeah! Did we get an email?
There we go. All right, guys. Have a fantastic morning. I look forward to the update on that, Miss Hurlbert.
Yes, sir.